Hello friends, welcome to the lecture series of Digital Electronics.
Till now, we have discussed about the combination logic and sequential logic. In this lecture, we will be talking about the designing of counters. We had the discussion about flip-flop conversion, where we have seen a generalized approach to convert one flip-flop into another, like JK to D, D to JK, SR to JK, SR to D, and so on. So first, we will be talking about an example of that, and then we will start our discussion about the counter. For example, we need to convert D flip-flop to JK flip. If we need to convert the D flip-flop into JK, it means you have given D flip-flop that is given to you, and you need to find or you need to convert this D into JK. It means we need to find expression of D in terms of J and K. That is, the input D will be function of J, K and Q. In that case, since we need to convert this D into JK, we will be having characteristic table of JK flip-flop. That will be our first step, and then we will make the excitation table of D flip-flop. In the third step, we will solve the K-map, three variable K-map, because in that case we will be having three input J, K and Qn, and we will find the value of D in terms of J and K, and then we will realize the diagram. So let's start this example. So first we need to find the characteristic table of JK flip-flop. So we are having input J, K and Qn. This is how we are making the characteristic table. And the next step will be Qn plus 1. This will be 110 and then 111. So when JK is 00, present state is 0, so next state will be same as the previous state. जब JK 01 है, reset condition 10 set condition and 11 is my toggle condition. So it will be 0 है तो in output 1 आएगी, और अगर present state 1 है तो next state 0 आएगी. So this is my characteristic table of JK flip-flop. Now, since we need to convert D into JK, we will make the excitation table of D flip-flop. Now, these two are my inputs, and this is my output for excitation table. 0 to 0. What should be the input of D? Generally, next state आपकी D को follow करती है. D is simply a data transfer flip-flop. So in this case, when I'm saying excitation table of D, so whatever there in the Qn plus 1, that will be directly be input D. It will be 0, 1. This will be 0, 0. We have got the excitation table of D. Now I am having three inputs J, K and Qn. Solve the K-map and find the expression of D in terms of J, K, Qn. So now these three will be inputs. Solve the three variable K-map for T and find the expression, what it will be. J, K, Qn. So J is 0, 1, Qn is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1 and 1, 0. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So one pairing is this, another could be this and that. K bar Qn, and the corner one is my J Qn bar. So we have got the expression of D in terms of J, K and Qn. Now we can realize the circuit. So this is my conversion table. So the combined table we call as a conversion table. So in which we are having the characteristic table and excitation table. Then we have solved the K-map. Here D is equal to J Qn bar, K bar Qn. And this will be the circuit. So now you can say in this case, this is your new JK flip-flop, something like this. You can say it like, and this is your clock. So this will be your Qn, and this will be Qn bar. Now you have given a D flip-flop, but you will be giving inputs in terms of JK, and it will be behaving as a JK flip-flop. So next we are talking about the counters. This is only a register which is going through some predetermined sequence of states with the occurrence of clock. We need to design some structure in which it will be moving, or it will be go through some predetermined state. Let if I'm talking about the two flip-flops which are connected together, how it will be connected, that part we will see. The first one is having in output Q0, second one is having output Q1. So you can say you are predefining their state, that initially they are in the 0 0 condition. This is my Q1 and this is my Q0. After that, it should go in, let 0 1, then it should go in 1 0, because for two inputs we can have maximum 4 states, and for last it will go for 1 1. So this is, you have defined their state. These are the predefined states. Otherwise, you can also say that initially they are in the 0 0. My counter should work in such a sequence that after 0 0 it should go into 1 0, then 1 1, and then 0 1. You can design it like this also. So it means the counter is which is counting your sequence. For general term, when I am saying the up counter or down counter, we are having a uniform sequence 0 1 2 3, like the first one here. So 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, because 1 1 is my 3 in the decimal. So we can say this is my up counter because it's counting from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, and 2 to 3. Similarly, I can define the state that will count the reverse. So we can say initially my flip-flops are in preset condition. So both the outputs will be 1, and after that it should go like 1 1 2 1 0, 2 0 1, 2 0 0. So it is now down counting 3 2 1 and 0. And you can say it is a uniform down counting. You can also define a stage like 1 1, 2 0 1, and 2 0 0. So here you have skipped the state 2. So it is counting from 3 to 1, 1 to 0. If I'm talking about the two variable, like in this case, we are having two flip-flop. For two variable, we can have 4 number of states, right? For three variable, we can have 8. So when I'm saying 4 number of state, it will be counting from 0 to 3. What is the arrangement? That totally user dependent. 0 to 8, it will be counting from 0 to 7. For variable 0 to 16. So if you want to make a counter that will count till 13, we should have 4 flip-flop. This random value, when I'm saying it is counting from 0 to 15, 0 to 13, that we call as a modulus of counter. For example, in the 3 variable, it will be counting, ideally it is counting from 0 to 7. But you want to design the counter in such a way that it should only count till 5. After that, it should move back to 0. For example, it will be counting from 0, 1, 1 to 2, then 3, 4, and then back to 0. It won't go into 5, 6, and 7 state. So it is counting till 0 to 4. So we are having total 5 states. So we call that as a mod 5 or modulus 5 counter. So in this case, it is mod 5 up counter because it's counting from 0 to 4. Similarly, when I am saying mod 7 counter, that will be counting from 0 to 6. Mod 7 up counter. I can even have mod 5 down counter. So for mod 5, 5 is nothing but 101 in the binary. So you can say we need 3 flip-flop. For 3 flip-flop, we are having 0 to 7, total 8 state. So it will be counting from 7, 7 to 6, 6 to 5, 5 to 4, and 4 to 3. And after that, it will be again preset now. So these will be the states that it will be counting. So initially जब आप बात करोगे, you will see ये initially preset condition है. Preset है तो initially you will get 7, and if it is a down counter, it will be going from 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and after 3 it will again be going to the preset. But अगर ये simple 5 stage counter है, you can even have a counter that will be counting from 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2. This is also a mod 5 counter, which is counting the 5 stages. So that's why I'm saying we will be talking about some generalized concept in the counter, and then we will go for some specific one, and we will see how we can use this generalized concept to design the specific counter. So generally you are dividing this counter into two terms like synchronous counter and asynchronous counter. In very simple word, if all these three flip-flops are triggered by a single clock. We call that as a synchronous counter, because at the occurrence of clock, if it is the positive edge triggered, so whenever this edge will come, you will get the output. If this is Q0, this is Q1, and this is my Q2. So you will get the change in Q1 or Q1 and Q2 at once whenever this positive edge of the clock will come. That's why we call them as a synchronous counter, because they are synchronized with the clock. Another one is the asynchronous counter, in which we are applying the clock only at the first flip-flop, and output of the stage will be acting as a clock of the next stage. So in this case, whenever this positive edge of the clock will come, there is only change in the Q0. Q1 and Q2 will wait for the previous stage, because in this case, this first flip-flop clock, it depends on the output of previous flip-flop Q0, right? So to change this Q1, it will wait for the Q0, and in the Q0, if it is having the positive edge, only then the first flip-flop will work. So in this case, there is no synchronization with the clock. So we call them as a asynchronous counter. This is also called as a ripple counter. So first we will be talking about asynchronous counter. In this case, only the first flip-flop is clocked by the external clock, and all other subsequent flip-flops, they are clocked by the preceding flip. So if we will compare this synchronous with asynchronous, so our asynchronous counter will be slightly slower. Why it will be slower? Because in this case, Q3 will be waiting for Q1 and Q2, and that will only change if you are getting a positive edge at the preceding stage output. That's why it is the slower one. Whereas in synchronous counter, with the occurrence of the clock edge, all the flip-flop will be working and you are getting the outputs. So that's why your asynchronous counters are the slower one. In our asynchronous counter, your transmission pulse is moving from first stage to the last stage. In the synchronous one, all the flip-flops are clocked at once with a single clock. They are faster. Generally, synchronous counter are generally designed with the help of state machine. In the number of flip-flop determines the count limit. For example, if I am having the number of flip-flop, total state will be 4. For 3 number of flip-flop, maximum states will be 8, and for 4 number of flip-flop, maximum state will be 16. And that we also call as a modulus. But the states we are talking, that is the maximum number of states. But modulus could be of anything, but it has to be less than the maximum number of states. For example, for a 4-bit counter, the maximum number of states could be 60, but we can have a modulus 12, modulus 10, modulus 9 as well. Okay, so let's design a 1-bit synchronous counter. So for 1 bit, I just need 1 flip-flop. Now how it will work? So this is my clock, and if it is a positive edge triggered, this flip-flop will be working at every edge of this clock. To design the counter, we are generally using T flip-flop, or if even you are using JK flip-flop, then J and K has to be 1. So that's why I have made JK equal to 1. Let initially my Q0 is reset condition in the reset. So whenever this clock pulse will come, it will be toggled, and so on. So what we are getting, 0, 1, 0, 1 and 0. So for 1-bit counter, I can have 2 states, so that you can see from the Q0. It is always in the 0 to 1 here, then 0 to 1 and then 0 to 1. Talking about the 2-bit counter, so we will be having the cascading, in which the output of the preceding stage will act as a clock of the next stage. This is my clock, and if it is a positive edge triggered, my first flip-flop Q0 and Q11 will be triggered at every occurrence of this positive edge. JK is 1, so this will be my J0 K0. This will be my J1 K1. So all are equal to 1, or you can say we are using a toggle flip flop. So we are using this JK flip flop into the toggle mode. Initially my Q0 and Q1 both are 0. Both are in the reset condition. You can assume any condition, but right now I am considering them as a reset condition. So when the first occurrence of clock will come, Q0 will be toggled. So for every occurrence of this clock, we will be having toggling in the Q0 and so on. Now this Q1 will change when we have positive edge in the Q0, because now my Q0 is working for clock of this my second flip flop. So my Q1 will be changed at this instant. Initially Q1 was 0. Here it will be toggled. Now we will not be seeing the clock because this Q0 is a new clock for my flip flop. Here it will be toggled and then it will be toggled here. Now if you will see, this is my 00. I am just taking this in terms of clock only, sorry. This is 1. This is 1. After this clock, this is 0. This is 1. 1, 0, 0, 0, again 1, 1. So how it goes? If you will cross check Q0 and Q1. Initially हमने इसको reset condition में consider किया था 0, 0. After 0, 0, what we are getting? 1, 1. After 1, 1, we are getting 1, 0. Then we are in the 0, 1 condition. After that 0, 0. After that 1, 1, and it will be continuing depending on the clock. So if you will carefully see, it is initially it was 0, then it is going from 0 to 3, 3 to 2, 2 to 1, 1 to back to 0, and then 0 to again 3, 2, 1. So it will be repeating. So this is the down counter: 3, 2, 1, 0, 3, 2, 1. So it will be repeating in the sequence. And if you will see the frequency, let if my clock is having frequency 10 megahertz, depending on the time period, that the time period is T and the frequency is 10 megahertz. Q0 हमारा 2T है, this is my 4T. So you can say as I'm increasing the stages, my frequency is getting divided. So that we have discussed as a frequency divider circuits. So in this case, if I am talking about at the Q0 output, at the Q0, whatever pulse I am getting, that will be having 5 megahertz frequency if my clock is having 10 megahertz, and for Q1 I will be having 2.5 megahertz. So here the Q1 frequency will be divided by 4, and the Q0 it will be frequency divider by 2. So this is a down counter that we have designed. What if we need to design a up counter? We will be connecting Q0 dash to clock. We will not connect this. Again, this is my positive edge trigger. This is clock. Initially Q0 and Q1 are in the reset condition. So this is my Q0 reset, and it will be changing at every occurrence of the clock. But हमारा जो next flip flop है उसकी clock क्या है? Q0 bar. So we just need Q0 bar as well. That will be reverse of this. Next flip flop is again my positive edge trigger. So it will be triggered at every positive edge of my Q0 bar. So this Q0 bar will be my next clock. Now talking about the Q1, Q0 Q1 reset है. So output will be, this will be toggled here, then at this instant, then at this instant, and so on. If I'm checking what we have got, this is 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, and 1. What about Q1? 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. Let's check what is actual we have got. Initially both were 0, 0. After that we got 0, 1. Then we got 1, 0. Then we got 1, 1. Then we got 0, 0, and it is repeating. So we are having from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and 3 to 0. So now we are having a up counter. The point to remember, I am having positive edge triggered flip flop, and Q naught is going to clock. It will be my down counter. And if Q naught bar is going to clock, this will be my up counter. You can use either of the combination to design the circuit. So if you want to design 3-bit up counter, so we will be having 3 flip flops, J0, K0, J1, K1, J2, K2, and you want to design a up counter. So Q0 bar will be clock of first flip flop, Q1 bar will be clock of second flip flop, and so on. Similarly, if you want to design a down counter, 3-bit down counter, so Q0 and Q1 will be acting as a clock of the next stage. So right now we are talking about a simple up counter and down counter. In the next lecture, we will again have some discussion on the asynchronous counter only, considering the negative edge triggered flip flop. Because right now we are talking about the positive edge trigger. So the same discussion we will repeat with the negative edge trigger, and then we will also see some random sequences. So that's all for today.